Hi Gemini, this is Kajora Lovely with your general reading for the month of November. Please keep in mind that this is a general reading, so it may not resonate entirely with everyone. You can also check out my videos for your sun, moon, and rising signs as well. And if you want to get a sense of what's going on in your career or life's purpose, you could also watch the video for what's in your north node. And you should be able to find all of those easily in your chart, and there's multiple places where you can look that up. Just a little disclaimer, sometimes I swear once in a while, not all the time. I also do burp when I'm channeling. It's just a way of me knowing that your spirit guides are talking to me, spirits are speaking through me, and the energy has to go somewhere. So that may happen once or twice, FYI. Anyway, here we go. Your general reading for the month of November, and I'm reading with the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot deck, if you're interested. So it looks like some of you are having some kind of creative blockage with the King of Wands in reverse. This card, it could also mean that you're dealing with a fire sign who is maybe not coming from a good place. It could be a Sagittarius with the card Temperance. I feel like either this person is off balance or you're feeling out of balance. The Temperance card is usually, this is cat, by the way, is usually about finding an internal emotional balance. And it could even be, I feel like it's more that you feel like creatively you're off your game. The King of Wands rules creativity, communication, that kind of thing. And you could be feeling a sense of poverty, frustration. Usually I see the Five of Pentacles in reverse as having to do with, there is something here about missed opportunities. So it could also be, you know, because upright, this card is about these two people who are walking in the middle of, they're poor, he's probably a leper because he has a bell around his neck, and they're walking past a church. And so part of this is, even in times where you feel most destitute or, I'm hearing impoverished, when you feel like you don't have any money, you don't have any resources, you don't have any help, there's always something there. And so part of it is seeing that and recognizing it when it is there. And so when it's in reverse, I feel like you could be noticing it and maybe taking advantage of that, and that's why things are starting to turn around. But I also feel like with the Four of Swords in reverse, it's important to know when to take a break and when to take time out for yourself. You know, you guys are a pretty high energy sign, and I feel like it's possible that you may just need to know when to take a break at this, especially this month. And that could even relate to family because, you know, the holidays are coming up, especially for those of you that are celebrating Thanksgiving in America. But it really feels with this that it's more personal and it's possibly related to work or a creative outlet or opportunity. Something creative that's going on that has you guys feeling frustrated. And the main thing is taking a break so that you're not dealing with an illness. That's what I'm getting from this card. And really finding that emotional balance with the Temperance card, because this is about the importance of balancing out your emotions. You know, when your emotions are out of balance, that's when you experience dis-ease and you can get sick. For some reason, I'm hearing flu shot, so I feel like it may not be a bad idea to get one if you're okay with that and if you feel like it might help. If you've been kind of on the fence, maybe. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do because I'm not a doctor, but if you've been thinking about it or you've been putting it off, might want to get one. Okay. It also looks like you guys are going through something that's making you feel defensive, but you're also feeling like, I'm almost reading this like it's an existential crisis. Because you've got the Nine of Wands, which, as you can see, is about someone who's feeling pretty battle weary. His head is bandaged. He's put up a fence. You know, he's ready for the next attack. And I often read that as you're kind of like, what's next? Just what's coming? And so with this card, Justice in reverse, you know, this is the other side of balance. And it's also, there's a need here. Because this I usually see as external imbalance. And so this could be the external influences in your life, which could be your relationships with people, work, home life. For some reason, I'm hearing fantasy, like fantasy meets reality. So I feel like it's really talking about what you want for yourself, what you want out of your life, and how you can incorporate that in a harmonious way. Because it is possible. And it feels like, actually, you do know what to do. You know how to incorporate that. Maybe there's just been some hesitation or something. And, I just wanted to say hi. Say hi. Okay, so, just get the cat out of the way. You have the moon and the star in reverse. Now, with these two cards, these kind of go hand in hand because the numbers follow each other in the major arcana. So usually with this, it's nighttime, right? Which is suitable for this time of year because the days are getting shorter, nights getting longer, we're moving into the darkest time of year, and we're not headed into the winter solstice yet. You know, it's not time where the hours of daylight are starting to grow. They're shrinking. They're becoming less, and pretty soon we're going to have a time change. So you may be feeling that to a certain extent, which is totally understandable. It's also Scorpio season for the first half of this month, and then we're moving into Sagittarius. So it's also, there's a lot of dark energy right now. And especially the beginning of this month, you know, it's right after Halloween. It's Day of the Dead at the beginning of the month. This is the time of year when the veil is the thinnest between the realms of the living and the dead. So there's a lot of dark energies going on. Not necessarily saying that Scorpio's dark energy, but it's all about transformation. It's all about change, and it's emotional. And so that can be kind of difficult. And with these cards in reverse, usually this is about, you know, it's nighttime, right? It's nighttime. And the stars come out, and you realize there is a light in the dark. You know, when the sun is out, you can't see the stars. You don't necessarily know that they're there. But when it's nighttime, you realize that you're not all alone. And if you feel like you're fighting a battle of some sort at this time, especially if it feels like dark versus light, this is a reminder that you're not alone. And the stars, I also see as a reminder that we have ascended spirits, ascended masters, angels, fairies, however you interpret them, however you work with them, that you always have that divine assistance that's there for you. And you can call on it at any time. And I feel like with the star in reverse, it could be saying that you haven't been feeling that. You haven't been feeling hope. Maybe you've been experiencing some depression. And also with the moon in reverse, that can be an existential crisis. You know, it feels like you could be going through some really heavy stuff right now. Let's get some clarification on that. Well, I feel like this is an opportunity for you to use this to your advantage, because if you're going inward and you're really thinking about some things within yourself, it looks like you have an opportunity to really switch gears for the better. Because when I asked for clarification, you got the Nine of Pentacles, which is just an awesome card. Because this is about a woman who is self-sufficient. She is prosperous. She's able to spend time in her garden. She's able to wear nice clothes. She has a bird of prey. You know, it's not just about making the money, but about being able to actually enjoy the fruits of your labor. You're not just coming home at 9 o'clock at night and passing out and then going to work again in the morning, which is also followed up by the King of Pentacles, reiterating that. So this obviously relates to all genders. It's not just gender specific, because this too is very similar. You know, this can be an earth sign too that you're dealing with, but I get more that this is your energy. And this is also someone who has fought for their position. They've worked their way up. So it could also be that you feel like you're kind of having a dark night of the soul at the moment, that you're on an uphill battle, which is what's making you feel defensive, and you're having that creative block. But what I'm getting is, I'm hearing find your harmony, find your balance, and you can work through it. Because you're also going to realize with the Hierophant in reverse, you're probably not a traditional person. And this could also be about bucking whatever traditions there are in your life, because, you know, this card is the Pope, right? And it's about that traditional religious structure, about rules, regulations, formalities, making sure everything falls in the way that it's supposed to. And right now, a lot of us are saying, fuck that. We're like, fuck that. I want to do whatever I want. And not that I want to hurt anyone or do anything wicked, but I don't need to conform to these things that aren't serving me anymore. And I mean, realistically, a lot of the systems that we've had don't really help a lot of people. There's a reason why we've had all these changes come in the universe and come into our lives, our country. We've had all these shifts, you know. There's a reason why the Enlightenment came after the Dark Ages. Just say that. So I feel like it's also a matter of you, when it comes to finding that balance and harmony in your life, knowing what that looks like. And it might even help to write that down or make a list, or even if there's just like one or two things that have been on your mind and you think, you know, I don't really want to do that anymore. Whatever it is. You know, it could be that you're a stay-at-home mom and you're like, you know, I don't mind taking care of the kids, but I hate cleaning and I never want to do it again. And so, you know, it could be something like that. Or it could even be more that you're a stay-at-home mom and you're like, I miss going to work. I love my babies. I love them dearly. I want a job. You know, I want to miss them a little bit. I need a little bit of me time. I need to focus on something that I don't know, maybe focus on something in your career. That's just an example, obviously. But I think it's really a matter of figuring out, when it comes to traditions, what is it that you like? What is it that you don't like? What do you want to keep? What do you want to hold on to? What do you want to let go? And I feel like it's important to let it go without feeling a sense of guilt about it. Because it's your life. You get to determine whatever you want. And I feel like in doing this too, you're also going to be looking at friendships that haven't been serving you. I feel like we're going to, with this Venus retrograde that's going on through November 16th, there are a lot of relationship issues that we're working through. We're working through karma, past connections, a lot of relationships that just don't serve us anymore, where the situation has become untenable. And so you may hit an impasse with a friend and say, you know what? This is it. I can't do this anymore. You may also be revisiting situations where you feel like you were betrayed. It could also mean that there's a third party situation in a relationship that you're in. I mean, that could affect a friendship, but I feel like usually that refers more to a romantic relationship. And I feel like also it could even be getting over cheating in the past. I'll pull one more card on that for those of you that does apply to. So it's clarified by the Two of Wands in reverse and the Ten of Cups in reverse. The Two of Wands in reverse usually means that there's some kind of communication that went haywire. So it's possible that there was a situation where Um, I mean, I'm getting more like someone just lied. Someone straight up lied. And not like, oh, I thought we were on a break, or I thought that we weren't monogamous, or something like that. I'm not really getting that. That may be the case for some of you. But for the most part, I'm getting that there was some communication blockage. And for the most part, and that led to an unhappy relationship with the Ten of Cups in reverse. Because upright, it's usually marriage. So it could also have been the end of a marriage, or end of a long commitment, or end of a family situation. But it feels like what's coming out of that is another relationship with the Two of Cups. And you also are getting the Ten of Pentacles. This cat's trying to sit on my lap. That's what's happening here. So the Ten of Pentacles, since you got the Nine, the King, and now the Ten of Pentacles, you have all these three cards, which are all about finding your balance and harmony at home, right? That's what all of these are. And they're pretty powerful cards. These cards are about Pentacles deal with finances and home. So I feel like for most of you, this is about finding that balance and building that solid foundation. And it could be, I feel like for some of you, it's on your own. There are women and men watching this, and it's for both of you. It's about you building a foundation either just for yourself or for a family that you want to have. Maybe for a relationship you'd like to have in the future. It's kind of setting the groundwork for something that you want in the end, or for a family that you already have. I feel like it's for all of you right now. That this is a theme, building up your base and finding that structure and enjoying the beauty in your life. The Pentacles are also about kind of liking the nicer things. I would say almost like channeling your inner Taurus. So, and then there's something else going on where you're having communication issues or feel like something is slowing down with the Three of Wands in reverse. This card usually is about communication, action, things happening. So when it's in reverse, it means that things are slowing down. They're not moving at the speed that you want them to. And there's some kind of delayed awakening with the Judgment card in reverse. Usually that means you have an opportunity for an ending. So I feel like there's something here going on where you guys are maybe even putting off an ending or a revelation of your own. Judgment is about a realization. It's about an epiphany and having an aha moment before moving on to something else. But you are going to have a victory there with the Sun card. This card is about celebration, recognition. So I think the thing for those of you that this applies to, what I'm hearing is, whoa, how hard do you want to work for recognition? Because with some of you, I feel you're working really hard, and there are some of you who may be thinking it's not all worth it. So let's ask for clarification on that. This hard work that you're doing, is it worth it? For some of you, it may not be. There are some of you who may be watching this who think, I'm putting in the effort, I'm seeing results, like that's great, keep going. If you feel like it feels good, you feel good, you're getting the outcome that you want, you can see the momentum, you can see things coming together, more power to you. But there might be some of you who are actually intentionally pumping the brakes on yourself, who are kind of holding yourself back from realizing the future that you want because you're afraid of it. At the same time, it's like I feel like it's almost that you're equal parts wanting it and afraid of it at the same time, because you might have a new opportunity, but it's in reverse. So it could also be maybe that some of you are being offered a job or finding some new opportunity and you don't really want to take it. If that's the case, the Page of Wands upright is saying something new is coming. There is a new opportunity coming your way. So you will be able to do something creative, which comes back to where we started. That when it comes to your creative block, there'll be a new opportunity that's coming your way. So let's see. Last messages for you guys. And you got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, but okay. So now you've got some swords. You got the Two of Swords in reverse, which is about making a decision. So I feel that for some of you, it could be that you're hearing the word stagnant, you feel like there's stagnant energy around a decision or something in your life where you know there's a fork in the road. You know that there's some road that you have to take, but you feel like you're not taking it. And then with the Queen of Swords upright, there may be either you guys or another air sign you're dealing with. But I feel like it's really knowing what to cut out of your life. There's something coming up that you know you're going to have to cut out. You know, the Queen of Swords, she doesn't mess around. She gets stuff done. And she's not afraid to mince words. She doesn't mince words. She's very direct. And I feel like this could relate to your work ambition, because it could be that there's a situation that is not going the way that you want. You know, with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, this is still that, you know, beauty, I'm hearing trust, love, but also finding this foundation that you want. And with the Eight of Pentacles, you feel like this is probably for those of you who feel like you're working really hard and not seeing a result. You know, there's something that you're going to have to cut out of your life for the sake of your ambition. So I think that what I'm getting is there's something that you really want to do. And it could be that what you're working toward isn't coming to fruition. And so it's a matter of figuring out where you want that to go. Yeah. So, okay. Well, so you got the Fool, it's clarification. Starting a new journey. You know, not necessarily being, I don't know why they're saying this, but not being an idiot about it. Maybe someone's been throwing that word at you. But then also the Magician. So being wise, getting stuff done. You know, these two cards are all about starting a new journey. So I feel that in relation to the Queen of Swords, this is about cutting something out so that you can start a new path and forge it on your own. You know, this is like, you know what you need to do. I feel like you guys know. It feels like there's something that you've been thinking about, maybe something on the back burner. There's some other thing that you've been considering. And it feels like maybe this is the time. Or at least time to start seriously considering it. Because I feel like it could be even better than you imagined, since you did get the Sun card earlier. You know, that success is within reach. This came out upright. You know, it's possible. Part of it is, with the Judgment in reverse, it means that you're about to finish a chapter because of where this lands in the Major Arcana. It's right near the end of the cycle before it starts again, and you have the Fool come up again. When the Fool means that you know the risk you're taking, but you're still taking a leap and starting a new journey. So it's also having that youthful excitement and energy around a new project. You know, when you start something new and you're feeling giddy about it. And then with the Magician, you see he has all of the wands of the Minor Arcana on his table. He has the Pentacle, which represents earth, the Cup, which represents water, sword is air, and the wand is fire. So, and he has the wand in his hand, and he's able to do whatever he wants. So it's also a reminder, you have all of the tools at your disposal. You have all the elements, and you can make whatever outcome it is that you want, which is always a really empowering message. I would say, while you're considering this, something to keep in mind is that feeling of, I keep getting like feelings of warmth and excitement. You know, one thing I've learned is that, especially when you're working with specific energies, anything that makes you feel cold, scared, afraid, lonely, impoverished, all those thoughts, it's like low vibrational energy. But the things that make you feel warm and happy and loving, all of those things, that's high vibrational energy. So I would say go towards the thing that makes you feel that way. Obviously, whatever it is, it's not going to feel that way 100% of the time. You're going to have ups and downs just like anything else. But I think it's important to think about, what is it that makes you excited? What is it that makes you want to get shit done? And follow that. So I hope this was helpful to you. And I hope that you all have a wonderful November, Gemini. I'll see you next month.